My name is Nondumiso Ngapai. I am the Managing Executive of the Absa Home Loan business.
My name is Albert Krieg. I'm the CRO for Absa Home Loans.
My name is Portia Letape. I am the Head of Product at Absa Home Loans.
My name is Tsepo Mashashani. I'm the Head of Strategy, Marketing as well as Partnerships for Absa Home Loans.
My name is Jabu Furumele. I'm the Head of Sales, Executive Head of Sales within Home Loans.
I am Kamini Ramsamy and I look after credit risk within the Home Loans portfolio.
I'm Boiselo Kumalo. I look after home loans collections and deceased and insolvent estates for the retail franchise.
The Absa Homeowner Sentiment Index provides relevant insights for all key stakeholders across the value chain, in fact, including regulators, because it comes with the insights that allow us to understand where the market sees the property market. And by market, we talk about the consumer, and where the pain points sit and the friction sits, and to understand the trends across each of these sub-indices. And those can then inform what solutions and what policies we put on the table to help bridge the gap around home ownership.
So much of the information that we have is backward-looking, and we really have to rely on trends continuing to make forward-looking decisions. And that's where the HSI is important, expanding the industry's thinking.
Customer stories really do matter for us, right? And I think if you think about it, for us, our purpose is to house the nation and shape the industry in a meaningful way, right? So we know that, South Africans are really looking for ways to make sure that they put a roof over their heads. And I think, if you look at the Homeowner Sentiment Index, that's actually where it starts, right?
So I look at it as an all-encompassing measure of the health and wellness of not just the macroeconomic environment, but of the property market as well, and more importantly, of consumer finances and the prospects that they see for themselves.
It's really about the customer. I think we are a customer-centric bank. We want to be able to hear the voice of the customer, and that's really what anchors all the decisions that we make. And hence we talk about saying that your story matters, because all the decisions that we make is really centered around that, which is why the sentiment is so important to us, because it's really then giving us the actual voice of the customer for us then to be able to make the right decisions.
So to truly understand the demand and the value of the residential property market, you can't just rely on your macroeconomic environment. You also need to understand the market sentiment, and that's where the Absa HSI plays an important role.
It is kind of like a dipstick to understand what consumers think and whether we are likely to see demand or whether we are likely to see it tapering off in the market, and that then informs the business goals and objectives, looking at it from the perspective of leading sales across the country. Then we are able to align our business objectives and strategies, taking into account whether we have, optimism in the market and the buying activity that we should anticipate.
In collections, it helps us understand where consumers find themselves, such that the solutions that we make will have either a short-term or a long-term view towards that. If consumers are positive about the long-term prospects, then we can enter into long-term solutions with a greater degree of confidence that the consumers will be able to make it through.
I think this report is important to people that have an active interest in or play a role in supporting the property market, whether it's a buyer buying a house, seller selling a house, or an agent, mortgage originator, or advisor supporting the underlying transactions.
If you think about it, banks look at it to determine if there's going to be any activity from a property sales perspective. Real estate agents, both from a rental and sales perspective, will also find value in terms of understanding what products and services they must make sure are ready for the consumers within that point in time. We look at mortgage originators as well, right? We know that within the property space, there are mortgage originators who are also aggregating between banks and consumers consumers, and they would also want to get a sense of how much business will be available within the market. And lastly, if you think about it, property developers as well, they want to get a sense of what kind of product they must be building. Is it going to be a sales market? Should they be building more rental properties for the property investor? Because, as an example, there's rental activity in the space. So various role players will really benefit from this report.
So if you really look at it that way, it empowers the end user consumer. It also empowers the stakeholders.
For me, I believe that Africa has a significant youth dividend, and South Africa is no different. So the more young people we see participating in home buying, the more we can know that families are starting, people are going through different life stages, and we can also have confidence that further economic activity will be stimulated at the back of that. Secondly, as South Africa, we are a young nation. So for me to see more people participating in buying just shows a degree of confidence that the young people have in the future of this country.
That is very interesting to me, and quite a noble role that I think we can play as Absa Home Loans, kind of activating an untapped market and, optimizing economic activity that then increases participation of the South African population in the economic activities that we have. So that thought leadership and the customer education should not be underestimated, because it's got so much power to really unlock opportunities in the previously underbanked and unbanked market, especially in the township economy.
I think everyone sort of in the property market definitely needs to have a look at that report. I think, like I've said, it does give you an indication in terms of where potential opportunities in the market sort of lie, and then, how best to sort of respond to that as well.
So some of the changes that we've made to this report, which I'm very excited about, because as we went around the country presenting to different audiences, one of the things that they would always ask us is to say, when are we bringing localized insights for specific regions? So we started now to be able to bring certain insights for almost the whole of South Africa, which then means that all our stakeholders that we are interacting with throughout the country can then be able to have insights that are localized that can inform some of the decisions that they are taking. So it's quite exciting. And also, we will also be bringing in some additional insights as well. So yes, we've got the index, which speaks to customers' voices into that as well. But there's also some qualitative insights that we wanting to be able to bring, which would tie in terms of some of the emerging trends that we are seeing and the challenges, or even exciting things that are happening at a particular point in time. So some really great insights that I'm looking forward to. I think it will add a lot of value to whoever will be reading the report.